你好，新概念英语第二册 New Concept English 2。今天我学习的是第20课，它的题目是 One Man in a Boat， 独坐孤舟。课文开始前提出的问题是 Why is fishing the writer's favorite sport？ 钓鱼为什么是作者最喜欢的一项运动？我的学习视频分为2个部分。第一个部分呢，是课文内容图像化，变为一个小动画。第二个部分是我的背诵内容。今天是第1到20课的课文。好，开始第一个部分。今天谈谈钓鱼的那些事儿。Fishing is my favorite sport。开篇就先给出作者的态度。钓鱼是我最喜欢的一项运动，而且呢，我经常一钓鱼几个小时 I often fish for hours， 却一无所获 without catching anything。 这会影响到我吗？不会的，我从来没有为钓不到鱼而烦恼。钓鱼通常是愿者上钩，有很多运气成分在内。有些人的运气就不太好。Some fishermen are unlucky。 鱼没有钓到。Instead of catching fish, they catch old boats and rubbish。 反而钓来了旧靴子还有垃圾。说到运气啊，其实我的运气要更差一些。I am even less lucky。我的幸运指数持续走低，我什么都没有钓到。I never catch anything， 甚至连旧靴子都没有。Never even old boats。运气不好之外呢，我的情况通常是这样的：在河上待上整整一上午。After having spent whole mornings on the river， 回家的时候袋子总是空着的。I always go home with an empty bag。 我还是继续当我山贼这份有前途的事业吧。你可别再钓鱼了。You must give up fishing。 朋友们都劝我。你这是浪费时间啊。It's a waste of time。 但其实他们没有认识到重要的一点。But they don't realize one important thing。 我坦白，我不是真的对钓鱼感兴趣。I'm not really interested in fishing。 其实哥真正要的是意境，就是那种独坐孤舟无所事事的感觉。I'm only interested in sitting in a boat and doing nothing at all。 好了，以上就是第20课的课文内容图像化。好，后面是我第1课到第20课的背诵内容。好，背诵第1课到第20课的内容。Lesson 1 A private conversation. Why did the writer complain to the people behind him? Last week I went to the theater. I had a very good seat. The play was very interesting. I did not enjoy it. A young man and a young woman were sitting behind me. They were talking loudly. I got very angry. I could not hear the actors. I turned around. I looked at the man and the woman angrily. They did not pay any attention. In the end, I could not bear it. I turned around again. I can't hear a word, I said angrily. It's none of your business, the young man said rudely. This is a private conversation. 好，第2课 Lesson 2 Breakfast or lunch. Why was the writer's aunt surprised? It was Sunday. I never get up early on Sundays. I sometimes stay in bed until lunchtime. Last Sunday, I got up very late. I looked out the window. It was dark outside. What a day, I thought. It's raining again. Just then, the telephone rang. It was my Aunt Lucy. I've just arrived by train, she said. I'm coming to see you. But I'm still having breakfast. I said. What are you doing? She asked. I'm having breakfast, I repeated. Dear me, she said. Do you always get up so late? It's 1 o'clock. Lesson 3, 第3课. Please send me a card. 问题是 How many cards did the writer send? Postcards always spoil my holidays. Last summer I went to Italy. I visited museums and studied public gardens. A friendly winter taught me a few words of Italy. Then he lent me a book. I read a few lines, but I did not understand a word. Every day I thought about postcards. My holiday passed quickly, but I did not send cards to my friends. On the last day, I made a big decision. I got up early and bought 37 cards. I spent the whole day in my room, but I did not write a single card. Lesson 4. An exciting trip. Why is Tim finding this trip exciting? I have just received a letter from my brother Tim. He's in Australia. He has been there for 6 months. Tim is an engineer. He is working for a big firm and he has already visited a great number of different places of Australia. He has just bought an Australian car and has gone to Alice Springs, a small town in the center of Australia. He will soon visit Darwin. From there, he will fly to Perth. My brother has never been abroad before, so he's finding this trip very exciting. Lesson 5. No wrong numbers. What does no wrong numbers mean? Mr. James Scott has a garage in Silbury, and now he has just bought another garage in Pinehurst. Pinehurst is only 5 miles from Silbury, but Mr. Scott cannot get a telephone for his new garage, so he's just bought 12 pigeons. Yesterday, a pigeon carried the first message from Pinehurst to Silbury. The bird covered the distance in 3 minutes. Up to now, Mr. Scott has sent a great many requests for spare parts and other urgent messages from one garage to the other. In this way, he has begun his own private telephone service. Lesson 6. Percy Buttons. Who is Percy Buttons? I have moved to a house in Bridge Street. Yesterday, a beggar knocked at my door. He asked me for a meal and a glass of beer. In return for this, he stood on his head and sang songs. I gave him a meal. He ate the food and drank the beer. Then he put a piece of cheese in his pocket and went away. Later, a neighbor told me about him. Everybody knows him. His name is Percy Buttons. He calls at every house in the street once a month and always asks for a meal and a glass of beer. Lesson 7. Too late. Did the detective save the diamonds? The plane was late and detectives were sitting at the airport all morning. They were expecting a valuable parcel of diamonds from South Africa. A few hours earlier, someone had told the police that the thieves would try to steal the diamonds. When the plane arrived, some of detectives were waiting inside the main building, while others were waiting on the airfield. 2 men took the parcel off the plane and carried it into the customs house, while 2 detectives were keeping guard at the door. 2 others opened the parcel. To their surprise, the precious parcel was full of stones and sand. Lesson 8. 第8课. The best and the worst. Why is John's garden the most beautiful one in the town? John Sanders had the most beautiful garden in our town. Nearly everybody enters for the necessary garden competition each year, but Joe wins every time. Bill's friend's garden is larger than Joe. Bill works harder than Joe and grows more flowers and vegetables. But Joe's garden is more interesting. He has made neat paths and has built a wooden bridge over a pool. I like gardens too, but I do not like hard work. Every year I enter for the garden competition too, and I always win a little prize for the worst garden in the town. Lesson 8. Lesson 9. 第9课 A cold welcome. What does cold welcome refer to? On Wednesday evening, we went to the town hall. It was the last day of the year and a large crowd of people had gathered under the town hall clock. It would strike 12 in 20 minutes time. 15 minutes passed, and then at 5 to 12, the clock had stopped. The big minute hand did not move. We waited and waited, but nothing happened. Suddenly, someone shouted, "It's 2 minutes past 12. The clock has stopped." I looked at my watch. It was true. The big clock refused to welcome the new year. At that moment, everybody began to laugh and sing. Lesson 10. Not for jazz. What happened to the clavichord? We have no musical instrument. It is called a clavichord. It was made in Germany in 1681. Our clavichord is kept in the living room. It has belonged to our family for a long time. The instrument was bought by my grandfather many years ago. Recently, it was damaged by a visitor. He tried to play jazz on it. She strung the keys too hard, and 2 of strings were broken. My father was shocked. Now we are not allowed to touch it. It is being repaired by a friend of my father's. Lesson 11. One good turn deserves another. Who paid for Tony's dinner? I was having dinner at a restaurant when Tony Steele came in. Tony worked in a lawyer's office years ago, but he is now working at a bank. He gets good salary, but he always borrows money from his friends and never pays it back. Tony saw me and came and sat at the same table. He has never borrowed money from me. While he was eating, I asked him to lend me 20 pounds. To my surprise, he gave me the money immediately. I have never borrowed any money from you, Tony said, so now you can pay for my dinner. Lesson 12. Goodbye and good luck. Where is Captain Ellison going and how? Our neighbor, Captain Charles Ellison, will sail from Portsmouth tomorrow. We will meet him at the harbor early in the morning. He will be in his small boat, Topsail. Topsail is a famous little boat. It has sailed across the Atlantic many times. Captain Ellison will set out at 8 o'clock, so we will have plenty of time. We will have plenty of time. We will see his boat and then we will say goodbye to him. He will be away for 2 months. We are very proud of him. He will take part in an important race across the Atlantic. Lesson 13. The Greenwood Boys. Why will the police have a difficult time? The Greenwood Boys are a group of pop singers. At present, they are visiting all parts of the country. They will be arriving here tomorrow. They will be coming by train, and most of the young people in the town will be meeting them at the station. Tomorrow evening, they will be singing at Workers' Club. The Greenwood Boys will be staying for 5 days. During this time, they will give 5 performances. As usual, the police will have a difficult time. They will be trying to keep order. It is always the same on these occasions. Lesson 14. 第14课 Do you speak English? Did the young man speak English? I had an amusing experience last year. After I had left a small village in the south of France, I drove on to the next town. On the way, a young man waved to me. I stopped and he asked me for a lift. As soon as he had got into the car, I said good morning to him in French, and he replied in the same language. Apart from a few words, I do not know any French at all. Neither of us spoke during the journey. I had nearly reached the town when the young man suddenly said very slowly, "Do you speak English?" As I soon learned, he was English himself. 好，15课 Lesson 15 Good news. What was the good news? The secretary told me that Mr. Harmsworth would see me. I felt very nervous when I went into his office. He did not look up from his desk when I entered. After I had sat down, he said that business was very bad. He told me that the firm could not afford to pay such large salaries. 20 people had already left. I knew that my turn had come. Mr. Harmsworth, I said in a weak voice. Don't interrupt, he said. Then he smiled and told me I would receive an extra £1,000 a year. 好 ，Lesson 16 第16课。A polite request. What was a polite request? If you park your car in the wrong place, a traffic policeman will soon find it. You will be very lucky if he lets you go without tickets. However, it doesn't always happen. Traffic police are sometimes very polite. During a holiday in Sweden, I found this note on my car. Sir, we welcome you to our city. This is no parking area. You will enjoy your stay here if you pay attention to our street signs. This note is only a reminder. If you receive a request like this, you cannot refuse. You cannot fail to obey it. 好，第17个 Lesson 17. Always young. Why doesn't Aunt Jennifer tell anyone how old she is? My Aunt Jennifer is an actress. He must be at least 35 years old. In spite of this, she often appears on the stage as a girl. Jennifer will have to take part in a new play soon. This time, she will be a girl with 17. In the play, she must appear in bright red dress and long black stockings. Last year, in another play, she had to wear short socks and a bright orange-colored dress. If anyone ever asks her how old she is, she always answers, "Darling, it must be terrible to be grown up." 好 ，Lesson 18 18课。He often does this. 问题是 What had happened to the writer's bag? After I had had lunch at a village pub, I looked for my bag. I had left it on the chair beside the door, and now it wasn't there. As I was looking for it, the landlord came in. Did you have a good meal? He asked. Yes, thank you, I answered, but I can't pay the bill. I haven't got my bag. The landlord smiled and immediately went out. In a few minutes, he returned with my bag and gave it back to me. I'm very sorry, he said. My dog had taken it into the garden. He often does this. 好 ，Lesson 19 第19课。19课 Sold out. When will the writer see the play? The play may begin at any moment, I said. It may have begun already, Susan answered. I hurried to the tickets office. May I have 2 tickets, please? I asked. I'm sorry, we've sold out, the girl said.
What a pity, Susan exclaimed. Just then a man hurried to the office tickets. Can I return these 2 tickets? He asked. Certainly, the girl said. I went back to the tickets office at once. Could I have those 2 tickets, please? I asked. Certainly, the girl said, but they are for next Wednesday performance. Do you still want them? I might as well have them, I said sadly. 好，第20课，Lesson 20。今天学习了 Lesson 20。One man in a boat. Why is fishing the writer's favorite sport? Fishing is my favorite sport. I often fish for hours without catching anything. But this does not worry me. Some fishermen are unlucky. Instead of catching fish, they catch old boats and rubbish. I am even less lucky. Not even old boats. After having spent whole mornings on the river, I always go home with an empty bag. You must give up fishing, my friend says. It's a waste of time. But they doesn't realize one important thing. I am not really interested in fishing. I'm only interested in sitting in the boat and doing nothing at all. 好了，第1课到第20课的背诵，今天就是这样子。好了，我们下课见，拜拜。